Today, we're going to be doing a new series that I call Theme Park Theories. This is where we'll discuss theme park mysteries and some odd choices made by parks, manufacturers, etc. And then I'll give my theories on why. So, without further ado, I have a theory about why Kings Island built Orion. And trust me, it's not what you think. Before I tell you my theory on why Kings Island built Orion, let's go through the history and see if we can find out anything about Orion. Orion was originally going to be built at California's Great America. Orion at the time was very similar to Diamondback as we know it. It featured the same trains and a pretty similar layout to Diamondback. Cedar Fair decided to move the coaster to Kings Island. They did this to save a lot of money. If Cedar Fair had chosen to go through as planned, they would have significantly had to reinforce the structure, and you even have to fill the track with sand. This made the price tag more than what Cedar Fair was willing to spend at California's Great America. So Cedar Fair decided to move the coaster to Kings Island. Cedar Fair thought that a Giga coaster would fit perfectly at Kings Island, and believed that the park would be able to get it done in time. If you want to learn more about why Cedar Fair moved the coaster to Kings Island, then I highly recommend checking out Kings Island: A Ride Through Time. This is a really well-written book that I've read multiple times through. And it gives a lot of in-depth information and actual quotes from the people who worked at Kings Island, and gives a different perspective on Orion. Cedar Fair thought that if any of their parks would be able to pull off such a feat, it would be Kings Island. And in no way was the layout the same for the CGA Hyper and Orion. The layout was completely redesigned for Kings Island. When Orion was announced, many people were disappointed. Everyone expected Kings Island to build a massive Giga coaster like Fury 325 at Carowinds. But instead we got Orion, which is, for most people, more on like the same page as like Leviathan, not like top tier like Fury or anything. Many people thought Kings Island was the cheap way out. But in my opinion, I think Kings Island and Cedar Fair was just making a pretty smart business move. They knew by making the coaster less intense and intimidating that more people would be able to ride it, thus making it even more marketable and more appealing for a wider range of people, which means more people want to ride it and more money for the park. Okay, time for the fun part. It's theory time. I personally think that Kings Island built Orion for a couple of reasons. First, they needed a very marketable attraction. So let's run through like what they could have used as their big marketing attraction instead of Orion. What about Diamondback? Oh, nah, that's too old. Plus, the airtime hills look boring to a member of the GP anyway. Banshee? Nah, many people are scared of inversions anyway. Well, what about Mystic Timbers? It was only built in 2017. Well, many people, when they see a wooden coaster, automatically think it's old and rough. And besides, Mystic Timbers is relatively small in height, not good for marketing. So Kings Island found themselves in an interesting situation. They didn't really have a super marketable new coaster. So when Cedar Fair needed to move the California's Great America Hyper, the obvious choice was Kings Island. So to make the attraction as marketable as possible, Kings Island I think made some pretty smart business moves. For starters, they made the ride really tall. And yes, I know, it's only 287 feet, but to like 99% of the people who visit the theme park, they just assume Orion's 300 feet. So it really doesn't matter. And besides, would you really notice an extra 13 feet if it was there? Yeah, that's what I thought. Orion was tall, fast, and actually it looked pretty cool to everyone. The drop looks really big and really fun. The wave turn is something a lot of people who haven't visited an amusement park have ever seen before. Well, the turnaround's a turnaround, but it looks kind of cool, I guess. Maybe. Not really? Kind of? Okay. And then you have the two airtime hills, which looks really cool as the train glides over each airtime hill. And then Orion's belt and the twisted airtime hill also look really cool. So think, you don't visit amusement parks often, you don't really know anything about coasters. You would totally want to ride this ride. Plus it's the biggest ride in the park, so like you have to be really brave to ride it. And if you do, you get the ultimate bragging rights of riding the tallest coaster at Kings Island. So this led to Orion. Not a world record breaker by any means, but a tall, fast, and marketable coaster for Kings Island. Yes, I know a lot of people are still disappointed with Orion. But hey, it's a new coaster. I am not complaining at all. And besides, Orion's my favorite coaster at the park. I love Orion. So, is Fury still better than Orion? The answer is absolutely. As I mentioned before, Orion's purpose was not to top Fury. It was just supposed to be a fun, marketable coaster for the park. Overall, I think Kings Island made a really smart business move with building Orion. I think this coaster will continue to bring success to Kings Island for many, many, many years to come. So, that's my theory on why Kings Island built Orion. They built it for the marketing. When you do come out to Kings Island, please do come ride Orion. Yes, it's not as good as Fury, but it's still a really, really, really good coaster. And in my opinion, the best at Kings Island. If you enjoyed the video, please like and subscribe. It really helps out the channel a lot, and I really appreciate it. Plus, these videos take a lot of time to make. And giving it a like really shows your appreciation for all the hard work us content creators put into our videos. Make sure to check out my new video coming out this weekend on why Kings Island's next coaster will be from Vekoma. Yes, Vekoma. So, as always, thank you guys for watching, and I will see you all in the next one.